trust me, I've seen a lot of net turds. You don't believe me? Well, I've seen a lot of congressmen. They're all gnats and turds. So, what's my point? Your elections are a dog and pony show. Now, tonight, there was supposed to be Blakesley here. There was also supposed to be Laird. Neither one of them. Now, the only place in California they're having a state senate special election is right here. Whoever that state senator is, he has to represent 1 million voters. Donkey do. There is no way any state senator can speak for 1 million people. He can't even listen to them for 10 seconds, much less remember what 1 million people said. We don't have representation. That's the point. So, I've had Michael Wointgen on here go on to great elaboration as to how in New Hampshire, where they actually have 400 assemblymen, compared to California's only 80, 400 assemblymen for 1.7 million, while in California, we only have 80 assemblymen, 40 state senators for 40 million people. 40 state senators, 40 million people, including the illegal aliens who just walk across the border, piss on our border patrol's boots, let the air out of their tires of their vehicles. We have a major problem. Something that you should have heard about, but you won't hear about on what I call MSM, mainstream media. A mother and her daughter, a 13-year-old daughter and her mother were raped on the American side of the Mexican border, in their home, by illegal criminals from Mexico. Then they were raped all night. Then they were dragged back across the Mexican border where they were raped by about 40 or 50 other criminals and murdered. Why isn't the mainstream media telling you about any of this? In a place called Brownsville, Texas, and some other little towns that you've never heard of in Texas, they have to bring the kids in from the school ground because bullets are hitting the side of the building from Mexico. The Mexican criminals sit on that side and just shoot. Now, when I was in high school, we were taught that if somebody shoots a weapon that can kill somebody across the border, that's basically an act of war. So where's our army? Oh, don't worry. Obama sent 1,500 National Guard down there with no weapons. That's what I said. He sent about 1,500 with no weapons. Now tell me, what good is guarding a border with soldiers that got a uniform, they got a helmet, they got a flak jacket, but they got no guns? The sheriffs down there in, what is it, Zapata County? They're going crazy. They don't know what to do with this. We've got no protection down on our border. No protection on our border.
Hello?
Yes, this is William Wagener on air. What can I tell you?
Nothing. Are you on the air?
Yes, we're broadcasting live. Did you have a question, Denise?
Oh, I just decided to call you because I had a call from
Well, call me back in about an hour. That's personal, and we'll have to talk about it because we're live on the air, Denise.
Awesome. Okay. I canceled real quick if I knew what you were talking about.
Well, we're talking about the lack of protection on the Mexican border. On the Mexican-Texas border, where this mother and her daughter were raped by illegal Mexican criminals. Yeah, the good times are over, Denise. They got bullets hitting the fire department building and the side of schools that are too close to the Mexican border down in Texas. And Obama sends them a couple hundred per county, or less than a couple hundred per county, to defend the border. And he sends these National Guard troops with no weapons. I'll call you back in about an hour and a half, okay?
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
His daughter's husband was trained, and he's working down there in Texas as a border guard. But I haven't talked to him about what his experiences are yet. So
Well,
I'll talk to him and call you back.
You should talk to him and call us back. See what that border guard thinks. Talk to you later. Bye. Yes, we do take calls live on the air. This is a live show Friday night. That was Denise. She's on another border state called New Mexico. And they're having the same problem. They got a national park down there right close to the Mexican border where there's signs up. You go on the internet and pull it up. And Obama put up these signs, just like Bush did. It says, Americans, keep out of your own national park. Criminal elements have taken over the national park. I thought that's why we have an army, to protect America. But oh no, not under Bush. Bush got to go have a war in Iraq and then go have another war in Afghanistan. Oh, and remember the Obama-Rama drama. Barack, also known as AKA Barry Soetoro, because his stepfather was Indonesian and put him in school in Indonesia. Now, if he was born in Hawaii, and this is a whole other issue, and we've labeled on this so hard. Do you know I've got, 60,000 views because ABC failed to show up when I showed up at the federal courthouse, and I alone did the news conference on Barack Obama's fake Hawaiian birth certificate, or was the Kenyan birth certificate fake for Barack Obama? Which one was the fake? We'll never know, because Judge David Carter, a U.S. Marine, Semper Fi Marines, a former Marine, we thought he would hang tough, because in September of '09, I was in the courtroom in Ronald Reagan Federal Courthouse, and he said, and I heard with my ears, and I saw David Carter's lips moving. Now, I should have remembered he had been a lawyer before he became a judge. What do you know about lawyers? If their lips are moving, they're lying. You want to know when a lawyer's lying? Whenever his lips are moving. That's how you know a lawyer's lying. His lips are moving. Well, Carter had been a lawyer. I should have known. He said, and I quote, "This issue on the president's birth certificate will be decided by a federal jury in this courthouse," and he set the date for January of 2010. And he set the date for discovery, and he set the date for the preliminary. He set all these dates. Oh, but then Gary Creep, representing only two plaintiffs, while Orly Tates, the Moldavian-born lawyer and dentist, was ready to go right then, and let's get on with the evidence. Let's go forward. No, attorney Gary Creep said, "Oh, Your Honor, I'm a little bit confused, and I got to court late, and can I have a month to get caught up on this?" Well, a month later, Obama's people, or whoever controls Obama, the New World Order, they had, believe it or not, they had got to Judge David Carter, the federal judge, in the Ronald Reagan courthouse. And all of a sudden, when they went back in October, he said, "Well, I'm going to take it under advisement now," meaning it isn't going to be decided by a jury, "and I'll issue my verdict on whether we go forward or not in 1 day to 1 year," or something like that. A month later, November of '09, he dismissed it. That's politics, people. That's raw, in-your-face politics. Just the way the prosecutors of Santa Barbara came into a Santa Maria courthouse accusing Michael Jackson of molesting that stupid little boy that had brain cancer, Gavin Arvizo, who was dumb enough to let his mother coach him into lying, telling such horrible lies that he was caught in his own perjury on the witness stand. When did you last get that magazine from Michael? "Oh, yeah. Oh, he gave it to me in the bedroom. Yeah. Oh, right. What's the date on the magazine? When did you last say you were at Neverland?" "Oh, I was last there in December or January." "Oh, really? What's the date on the magazine?" "Oh, October." Duh. So the magazine hadn't even been published until more than 6 months after the boy admitted he had last been at Neverland. So either he's lying about getting the magazine, or he's lying about everything. Because the magazine could not have been given to him in the bed, as he testified 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, until finally, I don't know, was it Judge Melville Or somebody said, asked and answered. We've answered this question. Defense attorney Mesereau was simply nailing that coffin down really hard. So later he could not say, oh no, I misspoke. I meant to say this or that. He asked him over and over and over. Different words a little bit, but the same question. Those prosecutors came in with a crock full of camel dung.